Where to find nurturing people. You might associate nurturing with the way that a parent cares for a child. But many of us didn't get that kind of care when we were children. Did you have a nurturing parent? Some of us only got it in moments. Some of us only got it inconsistently. So we're going to explore tonight how to find that nurturing relationship that you're really looking for. Now, when we're talking about having a nurturing relationship, we're not talking about being spoiled or pampering ourselves or being pampered by someone else. We're not talking about toxic positivity where you tolerate no discussion of anything heavy or serious. We're just we're talking about being shown safety, warmth, and compassion. And because we didn't receive it as children, we can develop a desperation for it as adults, where we feel like we need this nurturing from somewhere and we go out on a quest. Many of us look for it in romantic relationships. Once we become adults or young adults, we start looking for and searching for that nurturing spouse, that mate that's going to come and make everything okay. Someone who's going to care for us the way our mother or father didn't care for us. Someone who's going to pour into us the way none of the adults really consistently poured into us. So we find ourselves on the search. And because we're so desperate for it, we don't search long. But what we do instead of doing a wide, thorough search is we glob onto the first willing participant that we find. And so we get into a relationship with someone, not realizing that that person is not our special person. We thought that they might have been, we thought that they were. We settle because we need that nurturing so bad from someone. But it turns out they're a narcissist. It takes us years to realize that they never truly loved us, they never cared. Or it turns out that they're some kind of psychopathic abuser, and then we're sad. We're really sad. More sad than we were previously when we thought that we couldn't possibly live without getting in a relationship. Do you remember that? The original place you were when you were just single and you thought, well, this is terrible. I got to find someone. And then you found someone, but then that actually made you more sad. This is the cycle of a trauma survivor who keeps looking out in the world, out in the universe for what they didn't receive as a child. Some people look for it in friendships. They're searching for the nurturing people. Maybe I can find a mother figure because I never had a good mom at home. Maybe I can find that father figure because I never had that good father at home. And so it's not even about romantic relationships. It's just about finding a really good friend. We've had many survivors have come on our lives and asked, how can I find a good, true friendship? And so that remains a preoccupation for many survivors. They're searching. And for others, it's just we're trying to be that for someone else. So we're trying to save other people and we're trying to be the big brother, the big sister, the big hero for other people. And if any of this sounds like you, then this is the talk for you because today we're talking about where we can find those nurturing people. It can be hard for us because it's common to feel uncomfortable and alone, and we don't want to be alone, and we start to fear loneliness. And so we become very desperate for these relationships to work. And so what happens is you start to hit it off with someone at work and you get really, really excited that this is going to work out. This is going to be that relationship that's going to solve all the problems. And then sooner or later, they let you down. And then we may find a relationship at school or in the community, and we get really, really excited that this is going to be the one. And sooner or later, they let you down, and you just get back to feeling so lonely again. And you ask yourself, is it just me? What is it that about me that makes me not able to find my special person. It makes me unable to find really true lasting friendships. What is it about me? Why am I rejected? Why am I alone again? Well, the way that we're looking at it is from the lens of our childhood self. And that is what's actually causing our problem. You see, when a child comes in the world, the child needs people, like they need people to care for it. If a child came into the world without people to care for it, it would soon pass away. Imagine a baby just being born, but nobody was caring for the baby. Eventually, the baby would lose its life. At the very least, it would become extremely sick until someone stepped in. Gradually, as we grow and our minds are starting to form, as toddlers, we're still very dependent on having someone care for us and nurture us. And so we are really literally looking, when we come in the world, we're literally looking for a nurturer. Hopefully, we find it right away in a mother that's close by. But some of us had a mom, but she wasn't really a nurturing mom, or she was nurturing, but it was inconsistent or whatever. And as a child, if you find yourself in a situation where you're not really getting that consistent nurturing in your childhood mind, you have a idea or a concept at its inception that forms, and that concept is I need to find a nurturer, or I need to find a mom or someone to love me, someone to care for me. And so you're searching for that. In your parent, you may have to work especially hard to get the love because they're not just giving it freely. And you might start looking at school as you're getting older and looking for it in teachers and looking for it in siblings and looking for it in people in your neighborhood. But remember, the inception of the idea was you as a very young child needing to find the nurturing. This is maybe before you even had words for it. So, what happens because of that childhood trauma, not finding that nurturing in your parents or in the people in your immediate community, and not getting it satisfied, that need satisfied, some children will not make it. But somehow you did. I don't know how, but somehow, some way, despite having a narcissistic mother or father or both, despite having absentee parents, despite being raised by children yourself, somehow you survived. And that's why we call you a survivor. It's because it's a miracle that you made it. Maybe someone stepped in and helped. Maybe you just kind of figured it out. But remember, at the inception, there was an idea when you were a toddler. I need to find that nurturer. Well, since you never found it in a profound sense, you may still have that internal program running in the back of your mind, in your subconscious. You may still be going through life saying, I need to find that nurturer. I need to find that validator. I need to find that soother. I need to find someone to love me. And so when I said at the beginning of this talk that I was going to help you find where the nurturing people were, you perked up and said, all right, excellent. Finally, I've been looking for the nurturing people. I want to know where they are. But when a child reaches adulthood, they are no longer in need of a tribe. When a child reaches adulthood, they are no longer in need of nurturing from other people. And you may have never heard this before, but when a child reaches adulthood, they're no longer in need of being loved by another human. You can think about that for a moment. You're saying, I don't need to be loved? Yes, if you actually take the moment and just walk it through. If you were to wake up tomorrow morning and there was no human that loved you as an adult, what would happen to you? Would you cease to exist? No. Would you find your vital organs stopped functioning? Would your heart stop beating? No, only in our imagination. Actually, if you woke up tomorrow morning and there was no human that loved you, you could still go to work, provide for yourself. In fact, you could actually do quite well without the distraction of a lot of people in your life. You could still go and get an education for yourself. You could still go to the community center. You could still go to the coffee shop. You could still go to the bakery and get your favorite treats. You could still go to the grocery store. If there was no other human in the world that loved you, you could actually do just fine. In fact, you could actually still strive. I'm sorry, thrive in this life. You could fulfill your purpose. You could be a being of love yourself and pour yourself out and live a Mother Teresa life of service. In fact, it might be good if we would live that way. But the key is to realize, wait a second, as an adult, we don't need another human to nurture us. We don't need another human to love us. We don't need another human to soothe and validate us anymore. Of course, it feels good when we receive those things, but remember, we're talking about needs, not wants. So it gets downgraded from a need to a want. Again, when you're a child, it is a need because you could actually die if you don't get those things. You could actually cease to exist. You could actually become very ill, very sick for not having the nurturing, the care, the love. But as a grown up, you're good. And that's who this broadcast is for, grown ups. So if you're outside of the first 20 years of life, welcome to the next phase. This is phase two. Phase two is where you live for another 80 plus years and you don't actually need anything from any one particular person. Well, I thought we need people. Sure, but not any one particular person. Like you don't have to have love from any one particular person. You're already a part of the overall community now. In the next 80 years, you're a part of a community of people in your neighborhood. You can join a tennis group, a knitting group. You could get multiple communities. You have your church group, your religious group, whatever. You got community. It's all around you. That's where we got the grocery store. And we make it so that in this community, you can live close to other people if you want to. You can also live on your own with a level of privacy, individuality, and autonomy if you want to. And if someone in our community lives on their own, are they less valuable? No, there's nothing wrong with that. They may just choose to live by themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. They get that privilege in our greater community. So, welcome. You are part of a greater community. I don't know if anyone told you that, but you don't need the original tribe anymore. So, let go of the thinking, my family of origin is everything. They are my everything. They are my family. No, they're not. They're not your everything. They're not your family, and you do not need them. If you have good relationships with them, that's wonderful. You can reminisce together and talk about old times when you were children. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But you don't need them anymore. You needed a tribe when you were a child, but you still have the old programs running as an adult. I need this. I need this. I need this. So we need to change that program now, right in this moment. Let's upgrade it from I need someone to nurture me to I don't need any other human to nurture me. What makes this easier to understand, easier to grasp and to accept, is if our cup is full, if we feel nurtured and we feel loved, it's easier to accept that we don't need love and nurturing from some other person outside of ourselves. And this is why children who don't have childhood neglect and abuse and trauma where they did receive it in their childhood have an easier time accepting as adults that they don't need it from anyone else because it's like their cup is full, right? They received it, they have it. So therefore, they're not looking around like, where is it? Because they never got that childhood program of, I got to search for it, right? If you received it and you received it properly, you accepted it psychologically, then you grow up to be well adjusted. You're not looking desperately, searching for this love and validation outside of yourself. But those of us, the 160 in this room right now, who are listening to this talk, plus the 20 on Zoom, most of us have the program. I need this. I need this love. I didn't get it in childhood. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. If you didn't get something in childhood and you survived, that's a miracle. You don't need it anymore. If you didn't get something in childhood and you survived, that's a miracle. You don't need it anymore. It's okay. Right here. Put your hand right on your heart. Take a deep breath and say, I don't need it anymore. I didn't get that love. I didn't get that validation. I didn't get that nurturing when I was a child. But it's okay because I'm still here and I don't need it anymore. It's too late. It's not as if I get your mother out of the grave or the old folks' home or wherever she is, and I bring her to you and she were to give you a hug, say, I'm sorry, I love you. It's not as if you're going to be healed by that action. Think about it. Play it out in your imagination. Would that now fulfill you for the rest of your days? And then she goes back to the grave or the old folks' home, and then you're cured now because your mom hugged you and told you she loved you? No, because it's not a need anymore. You're an adult now. It's too late, mom. It's too late. Now I fulfill my own needs. That kid, the proverbial kid who had it all, and now their cup kind of felt full. And so now they never had that program. They're not searching. Ideally, they learn to give it to themselves because their subconscious inner dialogue was trained by a nurturing mom, dad. And so their dad was validating them all the time. Their mom was nurturing them all the time. Right. And so they've learned to nurture themselves. That's how their inner dialogue talks. It mimics the talk of the parent. That the father would say, you're important, you're great, you can do it on your own, you're valid, you're my son. And so in their mind, they go, I am someone, I am important, I am great, I can do it on my own. So they don't say, now who's going to validate me? Because they validate themselves. If they had that nurturing mother who said, oh, baby, it's going to be okay. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. I love you. You're so special to me. Then hopefully their inner dialogue is now trained to say, oh, it's going to be okay. Don't worry, self. Everything's going to be fine. I love you. You're loved. You're lovable. Don't worry about a thing. Everything's going to work out. So they're getting the soothing, they're getting the nurturing, they're getting the validation from themselves. That's all you have to do. That's what you're searching for. You're outside the door searching for what's inside your house. Is the nurturing and validation in the house with you? Yeah, it's in the room with you. We all have the ability to give an unlimited amount of soothing, validation, and comfort. Unlimited supply. We're sitting with an unlimited supply of it. And I know you give it to others. Just give it to yourself. I know you give it to others. That's how I know you can give it to yourself. Some of you had children and you did it for your kids. You nurtured them. You soothed them. You gave them love. Now do that for you. That's all. It's not deeper than that. Hey, boy, I thought you were going to tell me where I was going to find the nurturing people. First nurturing person you got to find is you. That's the first nurturing person you got to find. You are a nurturer. Do you agree? You agree with that, right? You're a nurturer. You take care of others. You help others. You care about others. You look out for others. Good. Now get to work on the one person who is with you at all times, who is your one responsibility to nurture. Get to work and nurture yourself. Again, the first nurturing person you're looking for is you. It is not a woman that you're going to find or a man that you're going to find out there somewhere in the ether. That's not the one you're looking for. Yeah, there's nurturing people, but that's not what you're actually looking for. Here's why, folks. Another person, even if they are a nurturer, can't fill you. The amount of validation and nurturing you need cannot be filled by another person. I repeat, the amount of validation and nurturing you need cannot be filled by another human. Humans are limited in what they can give to others. Every other person out there in the world is limited in what they can give to you. So you have needs, and it can't be fully fulfilled by another person. Even if they are a nurturer, even if they are kind, even if they are soothing, even if they are healing, they can't fully do it for you. They're limited. I'm a nurturer. You can book a session with me, but can I fully do it for you? No, I can only give you 1 hour in a week. That's not all the nurturing you need. How much nurturing do you actually need? Lots, like daily, right? If we're real, just between you and I, we need to be soothed and nurtured and validated all the time, right? Throughout the whole day. I need somebody telling me I can, I'm capable, I'm lovable, I'm beautiful. I need that all the time. Yeah, that's why we're supposed to be doing that for ourselves. You are the only human in the universe that has an unlimited supply of nurturing to give to you and can actually fill your cup. You're the only human in the universe that has the ability to fill your quota. Does that make sense? I want everyone to understand really clearly. You have needs. No other human can fulfill your emotional needs. No other human can give you all the nurturing, all the love that you need. It's okay that you have those needs. Only you can give yourself that amount of nurturing because only you are always there. So let's take the negative self talk and punt it like a football. That's gone. None of the, oh, I'm so dumb. I'm so stupid. I can't trust myself. I've made so many mistakes. Stop that. That's not inner nurturing. That's inner critic. That's narcissistic parent. Cut it out. It's abusive. You're abusing yourself. That's done. And replace that with, I can. I'm beautiful. I'm capable. I'm lovable. You did a good job. How do we do this? Start right now. Start at the end of the phone call. Everything you do, validate it. When you get up and let's say you wash your face before you go to bed. Wow, man, I do such a good job with my skincare routine. Doing so good. I'm so proud of you. Good job. Give yourself a little pat on the back, a little caress on your heart. Good job, you. Nice job on your skin. Hey, I remembered to brush my teeth before bed. That's fantastic. Good for you. You're really doing it. And I should journal about this. What is that? You're self-validating. You're self-validating. You're encouraging the self. As you get in the bed, you got the aches and the pain, soothe yourself. Oh, it's going to be okay. You're going to figure out the solution to this stuff. You're going to get better. You're going to learn. You're going to overcome it. You're going to research it. This is not every day is not going to feel this bad. That's self-soothing. That's how you should talk to yourself. But you do so good despite all the pain, all the difficulty that you go through. That's self-soothing. It's self-validation. Give the nurturing to yourself in the way that you talk to yourself. It's not just about bubble baths and going and booking a spa day. It's about the way you care for your metaphysical self, building yourself up, positive words. Let yourself know that you're lovable, that you're capable. Tell yourself that you choose to trust you and you believe in yourself. Tell yourself that you're smart. In fact, you're smarter today than you were yesterday. That's self-love. That's self-nurturing. But what about the other nurturing people? Where do I find them? Don't worry about them. They're limited in their capacity. The reality is, once you fill yourself with the nurturing, then you no longer are trying to look for it from other people. If you were to try to look for it from other people, you would be sadly, sadly disappointed. Even a nurturing mate, a nurturing spouse, wouldn't be able to make you feel satisfied. and you would become toxic. That's the reality. Go ahead and imagine it. Imagine you don't build yourself up. You don't soothe yourself. You don't nurture yourself. And now you've got a man there or a lady there that's supposed to be doing this for you. Would you feel satisfied? They would say nice things and you would feel good. But guess what you would want? More. If you're relying on them, you're going to be like, yeah, so, and you're going to start manipulating and caressing the situation to try to get more nurturing and soothing because it feels good. That's what happens. We become toxic. So you become the, oh, my hair looks awful because you want them to say your hair looks good. Oh, I know I didn't do a good job because you want them to say that you did a good job. Oh, I know I didn't bring home much because you want them to say you did bring home much. You're just going to sit there and keep manipulating them and trying to get them and finesse them out of more. And guess how that feels to them? It's a terrible feeling. You don't want to be that person in a relationship. You don't want to show up desperate for them to give you what you need to be giving yourself. So we don't get our emotional needs fulfilled through other people. That's not how we do it. We show up to our relationships, even in marriage, filling ourselves. And then what happens is we're able to generously give to one another, and it feels great. It feels great to have someone tell you that they love you when you already have been building up your own love and you already feel loved and lovable, and now somebody else adds a little love on top of that. Oh, you can bathe in it. You can soak it in. It feels great, and that's fine. That's fine. But you don't look for it. Don't say, "Do you love me?" Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't complain about how your spouse doesn't do enough things to make you feel loved, and you don't know if they love you, and none of that's going to work. Your relationship's going to fail, guaranteed. It's going to fail. Fill yourself up. Fill yourself up with love. Love yourself. Care for yourself. Take yourself out. Care for yourself. Give freely to the other person, generously. And whatever you get from them, you decide if it meets your standards or not in the relationship. If it meets the standard of the actions you need, then you can continue with them. If it doesn't meet the standard, then you follow the protocol of expressing, asserting your boundary, and leaving when they're unable to meet your standard or boundary. And it's just that simple. Just that simple. See how now you don't have to stress out. You don't have to stress out about, can you trust them? Are they a good person? Are they good enough? Are they the one? You don't have to stress about any of that. You care for yourself. You care for yourself. You advocate for yourself. You validate yourself. You love yourself. You soothe yourself. You nurture yourself. You're going to meet people, and some of them will have varying degrees of nurturingness, but it doesn't matter because you don't need it from them. So when you receive it occasionally, you can soak it in and enjoy it, but don't seek it. Don't seek it. Just appreciate what you get and move forward. Does that make sense? So where do we find the nurturing people? Look for yourself. You shouldn't even be looking for another nurturing person. Don't worry about it. Just look for yourself because you are the person who has the ability to provide for your emotional needs.